You're just gonna stick right here for me?
No. You're messing with me?
No, he's been running around.
Oh, here, oh, here's perfect. Like, but I always do, because I'm the same way. I gotta check myself out. Or, you don't care, man?
No, I really don't care. It's just being funny.
Fair enough. The best part is when you ask like a politician, "You happy with how you look, man?" He's like, "No, but what are we gonna do about it now?" Mic check, mic check.
Oh, like I needed that one.
If you would say and spell your name for me.
Hi, my name is James Askew, James Askew, and then got a D and a V and an M behind it.
Perfect. Take us through what you just experienced. What is JoJo going through medically speaking?
Jojo basically is suffering from a mild case of rhabdomyolysis or capsular myopathy. He was lucky in the fact that while he was out there, any bursts of speed and that type of thing were done, over short distances. And he was also lucky in the fact that it was raining, so he never truly got dehydrated. What we're trying to assess with him is going to be his long-term effects of South Mississippi. There are parasites here, there are fungi here, there are things in the normal ground that we're used to that he's not. And being as much in the woods and as much in deep water and swamp as he was, and trust me, we've been on his butt for days trying to hunt him down. We've seen parts of Mississippi that I didn't know existed. So he's definitely a master now. Anyway, so we'll be assessing those problems for him for the next several days, weeks, and months, maybe even years. But
you kept saying how lucky we got. How lucky this kangaroo is. Take us through. I mean, people may not understand because this is obviously something that doesn't happen frequently. Take us through how lucky.
Kangaroos, most of your hoof stock, they're really sensitive to a thing called capsular myopathy. When they're running and they get anaerobic respiration, it actually causes their muscles to work in ways they're not normally used to working, and it causes the buildup of a lot of chemicals that can actually cause muscle wasting, severe pain, arthritis, and actual death. Okay, kidney failure, liver failure. I mean, it basically will kill the whole animal. And in the wild, years ago, we didn't know a whole lot about kangaroos because every time we tried to capture them and study them, they would end up dying just from the capturing process alone. So kangaroos are one of those species that have kind of defined what we don't want to do when it comes to these guys getting loose. And the first and the foremost is we don't want to stress them. Stress is a big killer. Your adrenaline, your catecholamines, all these things start to add up, and next thing you know, you're hurting. You're quite painful, and you're falling over from things you can't explain. Anyway.
You spoke on the stress, and that's why you treated it with a bunch of topical ointments. Is that correct? Yeah.
Because they're herbivores, they use bacteria to digest their greens and grasses. It turns out that although horses and cows and all these animals will eat greens, it turns out the bacteria is actually what breaks down the cellulose and turns those into proteins. I mean, how does a horse get to be a 2,000-pound animal if it doesn't eat cow or horse or steak or anything else? It's because they use that bacteria. If you use antibiotics in a lot of species, and kangaroos are one of those, you can actually cause that GI upset and chronic diarrhea and secondary fungal infections, of which kangaroos are very susceptible to.
Last thing, anything you feel is important in the narrative story that I may have left out, you feel is important to have?
I'd like to thank everybody for their support. One of the things I have always noticed about South Mississippi in general is that our law enforcement is always there, our local veterinarians are always helping. Social media for a long time was actually a big plus, but toward the end, social media really became a little bit of a curse. Even as we speak, there's a lot of haters out there. So I just, want to, remind the world that there's a lot of people here working for Cody, and let's all think positive.
Sounds great. Thanks for your time, man. Appreciate it.